It is Wednesday, February 16th. Tommy could not be with us on this evening. He is very upset over the installation of our new HOH and has decided not to speak to us this evening. But that's all right. We're getting into it now. This is Jury Duty. Okay, here we are. So, how did this thing start? There was a lot that happened, and not a lot that happened at the same time. But there was a lot of conversation. Oh, I have this music still playing. This silly music.
I thought you did it on purpose, so I just wasn't gonna say anything about it.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that. There was a lot of conversation that happened before the HOH competition. So help me remember.
I mean, we saw Shayna leaving again, and Todrick continuing to talk trash about her. Misha was still completely shocked that they were able to even pull it off at all. You know, I felt like
her and I both.
Yeah, you know, one of the most interesting things to me in the very beginning of the episode was Lamar and Todd talking, and Lamar being like, "I was trying to get your attention to vote Misha out."
Yeah.
Yes. Because I was like, I know there was something way more interesting than the recap. Like, what was it? That's what it was. Are you kidding me? That all of a sudden, Lamar knows what's going on?
Well, I mean, he was in the DR for how long waiting to cast his vote? I was like, what is happening to this man? So at least now I understand.
Now we understand. He was really.
And I guess he was the only one with a brain that night.
Yeah. Can you believe that? And I also, no, well, I guess that's for later. It's for later. It doesn't matter. Whoever tuned in live, they already know what happened. So you know how we said last time that anytime we say that we like somebody, they end up leaving.
Yep.
So when I saw Lamar and he said that to Todd, I tweeted oh my gosh. I was like, look at Lamar finally playing the game. I was like, and I said early, and then later on, it's like, oh, I love Lamar, little heart eye emojis, and now he's on the block. And now he's on the block. That's all.
We're not allowed to say we like people.
No, is that this? I mean, it wasn't even within an hour. it had already shifted. That was all. All right. So moving on. Yeah. So I don't know about this strategy of Todd's. Obviously, it's like everyone half understands the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Well, I mean, even we even breezed past. Lamar straight up told Misha, well, yeah, no, I wanted to vote you out, and that's why I was confused.
Yes, because I replied.
I don't understand. Why do you think that's how this game? Why do you think you can go up to somebody and be like, yeah, well, I mean, I was going to evict you, but I guess that didn't work out.
Yeah, but it didn't
and think
work
that
out.
nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Right.
Poor Lamar. Because I think that he thinks somebody's going to cheer on his good gameplay thought. He thinks people are going to go okay, you know what? Good for you. And it's like, it's not how this is going to work.
Obviously, now she's going to come for you.
Right. This is an active game, Lamar.
I feel like Lamar thinks of this game as a board game, like almost like Monopoly or something, where everybody can see your properties and how much money you have. You know,
if I'm playing Monopoly and someone was like, I was going to take all your properties, now I'm gunning for that person.
But it doesn't strike me that he realizes that this is the type of game where you're supposed to try to sneakily strategize. He's playing a game and he's just kind of announcing well, of course, this is what I would do. You know, even that's what it seems like to me.
As if Misha's going to agree. Yeah, you know, right. That's exactly.
I would have gotten rid of me too. Sure.
Right.
Cute. It's very cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so happy you remembered that. I was like, there was something that was really interesting that happened, but it already feels like so long ago.
It really does.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else that happened. That's what I mean. So much happened and so much didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this. Oh. I like these competitions with the food ones.
Yeah, me
so
too.
I as a player, I would hate it. I would not play this competition.
No, I wouldn't.
No part of it. But as a viewer, I love competitions like this because you have the physical competitions where obviously there are people who are really strong physical competitors and really strong like athletes or whatever who are going to do well at those. You have the memory competitions and the mental competitions where there are obviously people who just have a better retention for stuff like that. A competition like this is a perfect equalizer.
Yes.
Because it's such a random niche skill that you either like anyone could have that.
Yeah.
And it causes a result like this where instead of having the Mishas win every single time, who would have seen this coming? You know?
Right.
I love it. I love it. And nobody saw it coming. And that's why this made this so delicious, because nobody has ever planned to include Todd Bridges in anyone's like strategy or anything like that. So and which is very clear by what he does here. But Carson even made a mention like that. He's like, oh, I made sure I texted myself with Misha and Todrick. And now Todd wins.
Because he's had no clue. He's basically not contributed to the game the whole time. And all of a sudden here he is HOH. Who would have thought that?
Really?
But this is also just another example, like you were saying, Kyle, about Carson, like of why they like made a huge mistake. Like, sure, maybe you couldn't have agreed with Shayna on everything. Maybe you felt like she was being a little shady, but like, you know that Misha and Todrick are your enemies. Now you're terrified that Todd just won. You know, like, what would you have felt if Lamar had won? So like, why did you send Shayna out? Literally no one else in the house is beneficial to you in any way. Even if you thought that Shayna might be playing both sides, you still
even if
sent
she's
out.
playing both sides, half is better than 0.
Right.
At
right.
least it's
like
a number somewhere.
Yeah.
Now you and your biggest ally, Cynthia, are in the house with 4 people that you know have been working against you the entire time. Rather than having Shayna in there and one of your biggest enemies in Misha or Todrick out. So I still don't know.
On
and
top
they still
of that, no, right. And that janky ass conversation that Todd then had with Carson about like, oh, you know that if you win veto and like you take yourself down, I'm gonna have to put up Cynthia, which is in also then saying to Carson that like I value Cynthia. Like, it was such a weird like that was so layered, that conversation, so icky, and like I don't know, poor Carson. He's just too sweet for this game. I think he's too sweet.
Oh man.
That whole conversation was also just like you were getting at before, Kyle, a perfect representation of like, you get the game, but do you? Because then, you know, we hear Cynthia and Carson talking about it later, and it's like, well, now you've created a situation where we can, there's a roadmap where like neither person is going to go home.
Right.
Rather than putting both of us up and then you're guaranteed one of us is leaving because that's just how the numbers work. You're now creating a situation where if Cynthia wins the veto, you're screwed. Neither of them is leaving.
Yes. It's like we halfway understand the game. Yeah. I think the whole concept of veto really like eludes them. Like in all aspects. They don't know how it can be used against them. They like in like just like this. They just don't really like fully get it. They just understand the basics. Like if you come down, someone else goes up. They don't understand like past that. I really want Cynthia to win. And
I would love
so
it.
delicious because this is the week that guaranteed everyone plays. So we can't have a flarn like last time.
Right.
And do you think we get a celebrity OTEV?
I hope so. I want us to get an OTEV in this season.
I feel like we've been getting a lot of really simple vetoes because half of them have been live. So I don't know.
Right. And see, she didn't say this veto this week was.
I haven't been paying attention to see if they've played it yet or not.
I just feel like with celebrity, like you should take all of the fan favorites and make the celebrities do them.
Sure.
Like I don't care if that's like if we see the same games on every Celebrity Big Brother season. Give me OTEV, give me all the fan favorites.
We see the same games in the regular one anyway.
Right. Consider it in the same vein as like an All-Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all that stuff.
Wow.
Like I'm glad we got some costumes tonight too.
Yes.
Apparently, Lamar has been like crop dusting Todrick the entire time because I had seen like other clips of that like already. Aside from what was aired, like I saw other people that had pulled clips.
I was dying in that moment when Lamar farted and Todrick was like dying, and Lamar's like, "Just walk through it. Just close your mouth, keep your mouth closed, and walk through it."
Gosh.
What a terrible. There is no one on this earth that I would willingly be tied to for 24 hours.
No, not one single person.
And like you guys know my big holdup with like Big Brother is having to share a bathroom with that many people. Could you imagine if I had to use the bathroom tied to another human being?
No, not a chance.
No.
Nightmare.
No. I'm still applying to be on the show next season, but
the thing is, like, part of me would almost want that. It's 24 hours, and I really do agree with what Todrick said. He was like, it's not really like the Big Brother experience if you're not in a costume, if you're not doing something.
Sure, give me a costume, give me a punishment.
I don't know.
Not this
listen,
one.
for 24 hours. Listen, I feel like if you're at that point of the game, not the point that they're at, maybe because like theirs is so sped up, but usually by the time we see this in ours, we're weeks, like almost like 2 months in. Like, you're bored. Just could spice up my 24 hours. Gives me something.
It's true. In regular Big Brother, I mean, I guess it depends on the punishment, but like, are people ever tied up or like connected to each other for more than 24 hours?
Not that I've seen. I think the costumes are a week. But I think when you're like being tethered, I think that's like 24 hours, or like when they keep you in a sand pit and like things like that.
I'm curious if like, because I think 24 hours I could probably handle too, like you said, but like if it was more than 24 hours, could you do that? I don't know if I could.
No, I don't think I could.
No way.
I don't think I could. But when I think like from like 9:30 now to 9:30 tomorrow, okay. All right. It affects one night of sleep.
So I'd be in such a bad mood.
I think you'd be so excited to have a change of pace.
Yeah.
You know,
again, give me a punishment. Don't give me that one. I don't want that one.
I think it's fun. But anyway, so Todd Bridges won, head of household, and obviously selected Lamar and Todrick for that thing. The HOH.
He killed it.
He was so good at it.
Which I don't think I'd be good at this at all.
Oh, I'd be terrible at this.
No.
I always make the joke because, like, I'll come home and my mom will be cooking and she'll be like, taste this and tell me if it needs anything. It's like, I can tell you if it's good or if it's bad. If you're asking, like, oh, it needs more oregano, I'm not your guy. I don't know what the hell this is supposed to taste like.
I don't even know what that is. And how you're supposed to be able to pick out the taste of barbecue sauce over, like, clam juice and all this stuff. Like, how could you possibly tell all these other things in there? How could you tell what's missing? Like, awful. Just awful.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm sorry. This just needs a dash of nutmeg. Yeah, then it's perfect.
No way. I'm not the one.
Oh, we had frozen Gina for a second.
Oh, no. Am I back?
No, you're back. Right?
Okay.
It's fine. All right. So now nominations.
Oh.
Carson and Lamar. I don't know. Obviously, very stupid for the whole thing that we said about the Cynthia thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like Lamar, I mean, and this is what I mean by like understanding like halfway. Like, do you not see that this is now a duos game? Like, whether you want to play with Lamar at this point or not, you have to. Like, you can't put him up. Like, can you imagine if Lamar goes home on like Todd's HOH and like that was like the final nail in the coffin?
Well, I think in Todd's perspective, he's set up with Misha and Todrick. We know he's not, but I think he thinks he is. So it wouldn't have made sense for him to put them up. But that's the move. That's the couple that you have to split up.
Yeah.
Because Carson and Cynthia, they're a duo, but they don't really know what's going on. You have to split up Todrick and Misha.
Right, but then if you think that you're still in with Todrick and Misha, then you need to put up Carson and Cynthia. Like, you have to get over the Cynthia thing.
Right.
Either you
want
I
understand.
Or, yeah. Like it's still.
Now I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you could swing at Misha and Todrick if you want to, but I don't think you'd get anywhere with that because Carson and Cynthia wouldn't go for it.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking in terms of like what the situation is now. Like if one of them comes down, I don't know. Because what's going to happen? Lamar is going to end up being the one to go. Because, yeah, he would have to renom. Say Cynthia wins veto, takes off Carson. You have to put Misha and Todrick up at that point. Lamar's a sitting duck, you know?
Yeah.
And what would the votes be at that point?
I would assume everyone would vote Lamar.
Let's say it's.
I think I think everybody would put on Lamar.
Well,
because they have that Final Four.
I'm just curious. Yeah, I guess you're right. Unless I wish that Carson and Cynthia were thinking a little bit like Misha and Todrick, where like, okay, well, if I'm up as Carson, if I'm up and I'm up next against Lamar, and I come down because Cynthia won veto and saved me. Now we're both safe. Like, who's going to go up next to Lamar? Todrick or Misha. So I'm wondering, who are the votes that are actually left in the House though? Like, Todd can't vote, right? Because he's HOH. Then either one of Misha or Todrick wouldn't be able to vote.
Yeah,
right.
And Carson and Cynthia. So Carson and Cynthia would technically control the vote.
Right.
But again, they're not smart enough to think, let's break it. Like, because they think, oh, we're the Final Four. I don't know if they would be smart enough to think, well, if Todrick's on an island, that's good for us. They're just going to think, no, that's our Final Four. We can't vote them out.
And this is just like, all I could think about after this episode was just disappointing. Like, I'm just disappointed. Like, I wish that, like, because Todd even made a comment at one point after he won. He was like, I've been playing under the radar this whole time. And I was like, oh my God, is he about to make a big move? Then it was like, no, he's literally not. He's just doing what Misha said.
I mean, he thinks he is, but.
And it was weird to me. He like went to Misha in the bathroom and almost felt like he was like asking permission. He was like, so I want to put up Carson, but I don't want to do this. Is that okay? And I felt like, I wish that everybody was just playing their own game.
But again, it's that weird situation where we've seen it in other seasons. Whoever ends up being the first HOH kind of weirdly becomes the forever HOH, where if that person stays in, they're kind of seen as the authority figure because that was the first authority figure we saw. So Misha's powerful. She's won multiple HOHs and she kicked off the season. So everyone does weirdly feel like they need her approval for everything.
It's just weird. I hate that.
Oh, I hate it too, but
I feel like it goes really either way. Like, you get that first HOH, and then either you're like everybody follows you, or you're out immediately.
Right.
Because usually the people who crash and burn, like when they burn in that first HOH slot, like they just go down in flames.
Yeah.
Like, there's never one to just go out gracefully or anything. Like, it's always messy, or perfectly smooth. Like it really is both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I have to say too. No, I had one thing, and I don't know if there's any way to like really fix this because I know they're celebrities, but like one of the things that Todd was talking about why he didn't want to put up both Carson and Cynthia was because like Carson will sacrifice himself and take Cynthia down. Did you guys hear that comment? Right.
Yeah.
Like, and it kind of got me thinking, and I was like, and I know this is a different season because they're celebrities, but we already saw Chris Kattan try to sacrifice himself to save Mariah, and then he ended up quitting. We kind of saw Chris Kirkpatrick do the same thing where he kind of was like, yeah, let's make this move. I know it'll probably end me up, I'll end up on the block, but Shayna, Cynthia, and Carson can work together. Now we have Todd kind of talking about like Carson might sacrifice his own game. I just feel like that's 3 people out of 11 house guests that have either tried to sacrifice their own game or have been talked about as sacrificing their own game. And I feel like that's just not something that we normally see in a regular Big Brother. We don't see people sacrificing their own chance to win. And I know that they're celebrities, so it's different. The prize money is different, but like, I don't want to see a quarter of the cast like willingly just giving their game up. I agree. Is there any way to fix that? Like, I don't know if there.
Well, I'm holding out hope that maybe like Carson didn't actually say that. Like, we never heard Carson say that. This is what Todd thinks Carson will do. I'm hoping that this is just Todd still not fully understanding how this game works. That somebody's not actually going to be sacrificing themselves, and then like Carson doesn't actually do that. Hopefully,
right. And I don't necessarily
that whole
think
situation.
But I agree. I don't like it.
That whole situation really confused me too, because I like made a note of this too. I don't know what Todd was really saying. Is he implying that he's gonna convince Carson that he's not the target, but then if you pull yourself down, then I'll put up Cynthia instead and she will be the target? Right now you're a pawn? Or is he implying if you take yourself down, Cynthia becomes the new target, so you should want to bow out and give her the win? Like take that and say, oh, well, I don't want Cynthia to go home, so I'll just take the L on this and stay on the block, assuming I'm going to go home. Because realistically, who's doing that? Like, if Carson believes that he's in danger of going home, and the only alternative is, well, if you don't go home, then Cynthia goes home. Okay, but I'm not going home.
Right.
Like, I came here to win a game. Yeah, she's my ally. But if it comes to my ally versus myself, I'm going to save myself.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why he thinks Carson would do that.
It's very confusing logic to me.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what that is.
I didn't really get it either, and I felt like I didn't necessarily think Carson would do that either, but I just felt like it was odd because I feel like we have seen a couple of celebrities sort of sacrifice themselves, and then there was like talk brought up about Carson potentially sacrificing himself, and I was just like, I don't know, like 3 people out of 11 left because they sacrificed themselves. Like I want to see everybody playing to win. Like,
right.
You know,
lame.
I don't know, because you see,
I took that. Sorry.
We got a couple of gems like Todrick, Misha, Carson, Cynthia. Even if they don't all understand the game, Shayna, Chris Kirkpatrick, like they were all playing. They were all really playing, and it just feels like we have these other people that are sacrificing themselves. And I know it's a celebrity, so that it's a little different. But I wish we could find celebrities that are all like they just want to win, they just want to gun for it. Like I don't know. Something I just wanted to bring up. It was just a note that I had made. So,
I agree. I just hope Todd's an idiot and he's just wrong.
No, I took it as Todd just assumes that Carson is so loyal to Cynthia that he would rather tank his own game than let her tank hers. But regardless, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that very well could be, because we haven't actually heard Carson say that he would do that for anybody. For anybody. So. But yeah.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out what happens now with Feed. I don't have anything else. And just nothing else. Honestly, I'm ready to see about Big Brother Canada. I'm trying to get out of here. I mean, it's up now. We have stuff to do,
Oh yeah.
Right? How much of it is up? I didn't even check.
Everything is up. What do you mean? How
is
much
it all of it?
Well, like there's like a couple of seasons that are missing, but like season 1, 2, 3 are there. I mean, that's certainly enough to occupy me for some time.
Yeah.
Especially since we lost Australian Survivor.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
It's still not back? I was wondering about that.
Not back.
How long was he even up for, Australian Survivor? Like 4 weeks? I don't understand. Like
it didn't even make it. It didn't even make it to 4 weeks. I had gotten into it with somebody on Twitter because they were like, "Oh, you can cancel and like they'll give you $10 back." And I was like, "Whoa! I can't actually cancel now. I can't actually cancel.
I
still need my feeds. I still need other things. Like, hold on. I can't get rid of it now. But I am miffed."
Well, see, here's what I don't understand too, because I was reading something somewhere that said like, oh, the reason that they took the Australian Survivor seasons down from Paramount Plus is because there's a current season of Australian Survivor airing like in Australia, but like they just took it down like 2 days ago, and the new Australian Survivor season's been going on for like 2 or 3 weeks. So I don't really.
But also, what does that matter if previous seasons are up if there's a current season running?
Right.
I don't get it.
That's
apparently,
every show.
Apparently, it's something to do with the licensing and the rights. But who knows? I could have just been reading a bunch of BS. So who knows?
A bunch of hooey.
But
so
I
bizarre.
did get a reply from somebody who had said something about. Now hold on, because this went on all day yesterday. A lot of really funny tweets, by the way. I mean, since we're here, might as well just get into it.
Sure.
This person, the icebox. This is at Jessica says, as if. Well, because No, it's because it was it's 2 S's, it's 2 I's, it's 2 C's, it's 2 A's, you know. So
No,
how do
it's
you
just that
say
was
that?
the best way you could have read that.
Yeah, it's not Jessica, it's yeah, Jessica. So she says, as if life isn't hard enough, but Paramount Plus took down Australian Survivor while I was in the middle of an episode. Please fix it. I have very little going on in my life. Like, she was fun. All right, so here's this person says, I saw it mentioned that this is all due to a recent contract dispute with, no spoiler, who is competing on the new Australian Survivor season. Something about non-Australian streaming not part of the deal.
Sure.
I just said that is ridiculous. So I don't know. There's a lot of rumors out there.
Weird.
Oh, they just better give it back to us, because
Give the people what they want.
Yeah, I was on like episode 20.
I was gonna say, didn't one of you say you were like on the finale and you were like, "Man, I'll wait it out," and then
that was Kyle. Kyle and Tommy
we were up to the finale, and
you purposely waited, right? Like, yeah,
because we were gonna make a night of it, order some food. It's finale night. It was supposed to be a thing. What ended up happening was we ended up finding it on dailymotion.com, and we ripped it and put it onto an external hard drive. And then we watched it, but the view of it was reversed. It was mirrored.
Oh.
Okay, so that is how we watched the finale. So thank you, Paramount Plus, for destroying finale night for us.
You had to do it the janky way.
Okay, it was so janky, and I was like, okay, we had to do this to get through this finale, but I cannot watch an entire season this way. So we have to figure something else as we figured out. We got to get our VPNs in order. I don't know what it is, but like something has to happen.
You know, how did they not just? I feel like they made a big announcement about it too, like International Survivor coming to Paramount.
It was such a big deal.
Like, how do you
because
not
it's not just Australian that's gone.
It's
every
all
other
them, right?
one too.
New Zealand, South Africa, right?
Yeah, all of the internationals. All internationals gone, and that's why it's like, do I want to start BB Can tonight? Do I? Like, am I gonna lose this in 3 weeks?
Yeah,
right.
Should I call out of work the next couple of weeks and just get it all done? Like, I'm like very nervous. I don't trust them anymore. And they didn't make a big hullabaloo about this one. This one was like quietly thrown up there. And that makes me feel like that could be just quietly yanked back. All right. If you made a big hullabaloo about Australia and you took it back with no notice, no nothing, I guess fuck us.
Yeah.
I can't trust them at all.
Yikes.
Yeah. But again, we can't cancel. We love you, Paramount Plus. Did you also see that there's a new version of the challenge coming?
Really?
Is there?
Yeah, the challenge is being reinvented. Okay. CBS is making their own version. And they're mixing in people from Amazing Race, Big Brother, and other CBS franchises. And they're doing this internationally. America and 3 other locations. And the winners of these will go on to compete in a global challenge, which they are calling War of the Worlds. Boo! We already used that title. Boo! But everything else up to that does sound very exciting.
But also, it is it does sound very exciting. But it's like taking people from Big Brother. Isn't that just what the challenge does?
Right.
Isn't that just the challenge?
Mm-hmm. But they're trying to move it away from MTV, I think, and make this like a larger thing. They're really.
But so then, would Big Brother people no longer be on the challenge?
This is yet to be seen how this is all going to be playing out. I did see somebody tweet. So why I don't understand why is CBS doing a version of the challenge with nobody from the challenge? And then Johnny Bananas retweeted it, and quoted it and said, "Make it make sense." So I don't know what's going on out there. I can't wait to see what players are selected.
Unless this is how we're getting like Paulie back in.
Question mark. I guess we'll see. My other question to them would then be:
I want to know who the host.
Are we going to get to see the international versions so that we are familiar with these people before we come to this War of the Worlds? I have a lot of questions, but I'm intrigued. I'm excited and encouraged.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So lots of exciting things happening in the Viacom CBS Paramount Plus universe. But until then, we want our Australian Survivor back.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Give it to us.
Please and thanks.
Wow,
to get,
Angies.
Especially
Gina,
like
one of her letters.
Excuse me, Mr. Paramount.
Hi,
Please, thank you. You're welcome. I would like this. Thank you. I'm sorry.
We're still live. Like,
Good.
talking as
Let them hear me.
you know,
so ridiculous.
they have to give it back to us. It's not right. It's not fair. And that's all I have to say.
The thing is, they don't have to, because
No, they
know
do.
The only fools that were watching it were the people who were never going to cancel anyway. So you can tweet as much as you want, but we'll be seeing you next month for $9.99.
Damn.
They know now.
You are not allowed to get too close to the microphone without that coming back.
Yeah.
All right, we have to get out of
Wow.
here. Thanks for joining us. I guess when are we going to be back? Monday at 11:15.
There's going to be so much happening between now and then. What is it? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will happen before we're back.
I mean, listen. What are you down for? What are you down for? What time do you get home from work on Saturday night?
11.
Well,
I ain't got nothing else.
11:15. Listen, I will come on any night you want. I plan to do nothing all weekend.
I'm not sure what this is.
Hello, Constance.
Thank you, Constance.
Sure.
Yeah. I would do a late night, Saturday night.
Yeah.
I just don't know that I would be able to watch the episode. I'd be at work.
Oh my God, that's right. Because you can't just get home. Oh yeah,
you want to
walk in the door. Let's go.
Do it
Let's
without
go.
me.
Want to do a Sunday?
That's lame.
Sunday, like early. Recap Friday, Saturday.
Depends
Oh,
on
that's
when
right.
Sunday.
That's
You have
right.
one?
I said I also work a double on Sunday.
Right, but what time? You have to watch it. We're gonna talk about this offline. Just check the socials. We'll get it together.
We'll figure it
We're
out.
a mess. We're a mess.
If no other time, it will definitely be Monday at 11:15.
Oh God.
Okay. Woof. All right. So hopefully before then, but if not, at least that. Thanks a lot. Tell a friend.